But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake.
Chronicles of Light. Twilight. I sighed. I was in the car with my sister, Bella, and my mother. We were both driving to an airport and headed a small town in Washington known as Forks. Luckily, I had no girlfriends in Phoenix, nor did Bella had no boyfriends. Bella just turned 17, brown hair and eyes, she was accident-prone, and weirdly she was pale. Most teenagers like our age were well tanned. I don't know why that's important. Apparently it is. Myself, I was tan, slightly muscled, and had sandy blonde hair, and had striking sapphire eyes that were so piercing that Bella always froze when I stared at her. I was close to turning 18. That is something else that isn't very important. Whatever. We were going to Forks because our mother remarried, our father Charlie lived in Forks, and we visited him over the summers. When I turned 14, that's the year when I finally put my foot down. I actually enjoyed living at Charlie's. I loved the rain. Unlike me, Bella loved sunny places. But she never got a tan. You know, from this part, it almost sounds like the plot line is some, like, Bella's struggle to tan or something. It's weird. Our mother also agreed to send us to Forks because our new stepfather was a baseball player and they moved a lot, so she agreed to send us to Forks for the time being until they could settle down in one place. "Are you sure you don't want to come with us?" Mother asked. "Mother," I said gently, "I have said that I wanted to go to Forks to visit Charlie and possibly live there. I haven't seen him in years." "And you, Bella?" "Well, I thought I would be polite and go too." I snickered. "Make sure you don't trip." "Ugh, shut up." "Teenagers," Mother sighed. By the way, the "ugh, shut up" really had no comma, so I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. It would have been better if there was a period, or I don't know. At long last, the 3.5-hour drive to the airport was over. We stepped out, stretching out cramped legs, and started towards the entrance. Okay, I'm sorry, but a city like Phoenix probably... Phoenix really isn't quite big enough for there to be a 3.5-hour drive to an airport. Like, as far as I know, I mean, I haven't been, so if I'm ignorant, forgive me, but it just seems like it would have to be a pretty big city for there to be 3.5 hours. Because most airports are kind of off to the side and on a highway, and most highways are 60 or 70 miles per hour. Yeah, let's see. No. Just, no. Anyways. "Hey!" Mother called. I turned around. Mother pointed to the trunk. "I'm not carrying everything." Sighing, I went over to the trunk and pulled out my 2 suitcases. After we got our tickets and said out goodbyes, we stepped into the plane. Okay, here I actually have some knowledge. Okay, for one thing, it's not a ticket, it's a boarding pass. For another thing, you get inside the airport, you check your baggage, that takes about half an hour. After you finish with that, there's more waiting in, like, a random spot. You go through customs, and then there's more waiting. It's not an immediate get in, get on the plane, get out. And it can take forever to just get on the plane in the first place. So, stop making it sound like it's quick. It isn't. Anyway, it was a 4-hour flight from Phoenix to Seattle, another hour on a small plane up to Port Angeles, and then another hour drive back down to Forks. Flying doesn't bother me, but the hour ride with Charlie, though, I was a little worried about that. I wasn't usually an open person. I was secluded, dark, and most of all, I barely spoke at all, despite the fact that he's been nattering on the most this entire chapter. Mother always said it was a rarity to hear my voice. Bella was a different story. She was cheerful, open, and she was more talkative than me. Mother always told her that it was going to be a miracle that she would get through high school without breaking a leg. That had nothing to do with that paragraph. Eh. I leaned against the window, thinking to myself. Charlie had really been fairly nice about the whole thing. He seemed genuinely pleased that we were coming to live with him for the first time with any degree of menace. He had already gotten Bella and I registered for high school and was going to help us get a car. Really wish I could get my own, but I dare not to complain. Apparently, Charlie is a tyrant now? I'm really confused about that one. But it was going to be weird living with Charlie. But don't get me wrong, I thought it would be nice to hang out with him, seeing as I haven't talked or spent time with him in years. Okay. We all never said a word. Not really verbose in the car. Charlie flipped through the radio, trying to find something to listen to. Okay, now I'm just imagining Charlie standing on a radio, just repeating backflips, and I'm not entirely sure why. Whatever. Finally, he just settled on listening to a CD. "So," Charlie said, maybe in a desperate attempt to break the awkward silence. "How's Renee?" "Mom? Oh, she's fine," Belle answered. That ends a chapter. A/N:" A? Well, what do you think? I have just finished reading Twilight, and I'm trying to buy New Moon. Please, no spoilers in the comments!